It has been 13 years since the release of The Last of Us, and we can safely say that this game has changed the course of gaming and storytelling history in levels that we never expected to see back in those days. It even nested a show that completely exposed the gaming community to a whole new audience. But even after 12 years of the release of this game, there's still one lingering question that has put the gaming community on two sides of the plate. Were Joel's actions justified, or was he selfish for not letting Ellie find out if she could have changed the whole world? To have a clear path to this answer, we must first briefly talk about both characters before they met each other. Joe Miller, father of Sarah Miller, lived with his brother Tommy in Austin, Texas. He was a loving single father, having divorced Sarah's mother. He worked as a carpenter, a skill that later helped him with all of the crafting. But on his 32nd birthday, the fungal infection erupted. And during all of that chaos, him, his brother, and his daughter were attempting to escape the city. And while trying to do so, the unthinkable happened.
Oh no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no, please. Please, please don't. Please.
Shortly after the unfortunate death of his daughter, Joel became completely careless. And while they did stay in Austin for quite a little bit of time before moving on to Boston, it was said that him and his brother did a lot of quote-unquote dark things to stay around and survive. While this was happening, Joel and Tommy had an argument because Tommy thought that it was the smartest decision to join the Fireflies and actually have a purpose and not do it just for mere survival. Joel clearly did not agree with this because, again, Joel had no purpose in life, so his only goal was to just survive. Tommy leaving and Joel reinstating himself in Boston, he eventually became a smuggler working with his new friend Tess, which this area of the city was ruled by a military dictatorship. But what Joel didn't know was that all this aimless smuggling was gonna clap back at him and change his life on a full 180. Now let's quickly talk about Ellie. While her mother Anna was giving birth to Ellie, she was bitten by an infected just before, allowing a mutated form of the fungus to enter Ellie's system, grow with her since birth, and essentially teach her an immune system to recognize it as harmless, creating a unique natural resistance. That's how Ellie became immune to this whole outbreak. When her mother passed, she was handed to Marlene, the leader of the Fireflies, to take Ellie under her wing. After some time, she was placed in boarding school in Boston, and there she met Riley.
Riley? Ow.
Basically her best friend, someone that gave her a purpose for living in all of this disaster. They would go on crazy little adventures to suppress all the mental pain that this outbreak has caused on both of them. And let's just say that while all of this was happening, she was also slowly discovering herself. But as tragedy will meet both of our main characters, this was Ellie's time.
I think it's clear.
Ellie. Ellie, your arm.
No, 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 no.
Both being bit by infected, they slowly waited for their fate. But as we can all remember, Riley definitely got infected, but Ellie doesn't. After finding out her bite even healed, this clearly made her think of a different way to go about her life. And she definitely had a new goal, which now leads us to both characters meeting. The mission was clear: to take Ellie to a Firefly's lab to where her immunity to the cordyceps infection could be used to develop a cure. And though he ended up taking her there himself after the original drop-off failed, let's just say that the journey became super personal for Joel and for Ellie as well. It went from them not really liking each other to a full father and daughter bond. This completely changed the perspective of how Joel wanted to go about this mission, because now he really cared about Ellie. And the fact that he got super attached to her now makes it really hard to give her away to the Fireflies, because it'll only trigger that one thought that made him give up in life in the first place. Now, if you're on Joel's shoes, you will start thinking of all of the ways that this solution doesn't make sense. No matter how accurate it could be, because he cared so much about Ellie at this point, he just wanted to save her. He wanted to keep safe the only thing that gave him a purpose in life. Now, does this make Joel a monster, or just a justified decision of a man who knows what could have happened if he would have actually let the Fireflies take over Ellie's body and create said cure? After all of this being said, we have to take into account a couple of things. Number one, it was very uncertain if mass production was going to be available for this cure. The Fireflies clearly looked like they weren't ready enough to create such potent cure. But I've also heard from the community that this formula could have easily been telegraphed to a larger scale camp that could actually mass produce this cure. But the militaries never trusted the Fireflies in the first place, so it already made it hard for this whole thing to become one. I would have to say that being a kid sometimes could cloud your judgment just a little bit on how the world unfortunately is. And like we said before, Fireflies not being ready enough and not being trusted by the military created a whole bunch of sequences that will lead up to a bad result other than the one we were all expecting. But we still have to take into account that she is in control of her own body, therefore she makes her own choices. So we have to respect the fact that she didn't care about sacrificing her life for a better world. What do you think? Do you think that Joel's actions were justified? Or do you think that Ellie was actually right and she should have done it even if her death would have meant nothing, or it would have meant everything for the salvation of the world?